some ben a so Ghana Mash bedroom, and young ben a coso getting in a realm life and colored. Now make us a high Better News TV. Meso says, so young subscriber to Better News TV. Meso sober subscriber. No one like, no one share, no one turn on notification bells. I bear update BI on subject me. I can make us a comment section once your dear. Meso so be jaw comment na show na be beer cosobano. You very reacted to all the comments to show our appreciation and like the enjoyment you guys are giving to us. Na ensemble na ekoso mrashe bidwani. And my share with no, what's nasi? Say, omo be bobo budget na ho. Either say, omo accept budget na say more accept it. Now we na ensemble be so minority leaders no. I say budget ready no. This budget it contain a corrupt and non-acceptable statement. All budget no more. My Ghana. Ama my Ghana says accept budget we are. The ahoche no ye ni bebre ne ba do dom kase ne muni ya kum omonte ase, and there was so many crashes between that the minority and that majority. E dey be pa na course na di be ntina minority for no ese omonje nto dia pote crant no so omonje budget ndu mo yenkotie ensema e course na ensem bebre ka afofo won e dey brem mo yenkotie mra na e ba de akabia no emfa nka mo ya biara da na make sure oba subscribe no like no share no turn on notification bell mo yenkotie mra
ansan ya ba betwa men saka atasa na de asie ewo mra se badwafie sesi a ene say Edom kuma yere umadwe se ombe vote against the 2024 budget. Ne senti asabasabasa yesi ama majority no I walk out from parliament. Na yene or therefore kwasi bechi akwa kwedi nkomo e de afa de ekoso ho. Ne hu se sese no edian na ekoso ewo ye mra hye badwafie ede na eko ede na esie Ninyana no eka ensamawodo a esisie no ho special prosecutor enso akasa e dia fa enuoma hodo yi a esisie ho yebedi komo e dia fa ho na yebekọ yemra se badwafie ne ye no odefo akwakwadi komo gina ho na de ekoso no ye na di komo e de afa ho e dia na asie a ama majority I walk out from parliament because asie ya yakasai said dia na asi no Edom kuma no say they will vote against the passage of this budget. Now, yebisa, yeko, and answer yeba. What you say? Because about to me are factors bebre. But on that phone, you are one seminum one kasa. You are better to me the amayeng. Near who said you know ma, esi echo efes medunson, iti. And also like Nicholas can say add near me no pet. It's a baby in tem cra. Ya kwa maso, near no therefore and coaching come on. Many are therefore cover. Yes, a majority are walking out from parliament.
Yes.
Adai.
They come by and say, who's a budget and then only debate in our bar every year. The bar you see, I was a speaker, a cat, a woman with the budget, a coma boss, Kayaki say, our finance minister, to a Masabajomono. Wa would you know, sorry, Yamnakate, and Yagisum, wow, we need to Cate, there be a Nintum. And the Cobate, there be the Anno, I say, a quiet, don't come any be any course, Kakaba, don't have a boat table to count. And the speaker said, there be more be fun and some boat tables. Only so Omonia and Catanum Fancan no, and I say yes. And what I did into ye be mono. Anna, speaker say, or did he say, a don Catene Kai, a yes, no, Afa. Ana ora Kofi Amaboa, deputy minority leader. Eso e ka say, o jitum say dom kuma no kan no mfa entino o ka case o ke kan hu say speaker emen kind nipa what dem ho no mo na yen say that nipa what dem ho no do no e doors o mo do doors dom kuma ne doors so a na say yes no mo kan no eno na e be jatu na say budget na finance minister ban ye ti bi jintum mani yi eno na ora say ke men sa eso e ka say no. And you can say speaker man no can no oka. And the speaker oh one kate speaker and kate wadia to say yes. Or Dean said yes the fire because a opinion there. Kofi Amaboa or who can say or you should or dana or go to and 1 1 1 1 2 3 or you should or dana no the can't ask them. I know him. And Ora Fenyo market say no, and yes, I know a banner because Ora Kofi Amabua, I cannot kind any classes out and any class or can or for the not speak at the baby. So long as Waka and the emergency, I was a head count. But the head count, young comma, young comma, young Quanum, so meaning to Don't Catenso, or meaning to my head count on the other there. I don't want Boba no Busua dia. I don't come, I don't get an answer free, and I say and I can't come. And to speak council cars, I no member sit down, that will be our only one. I don't come out in the same speak how many must say was suspended sitting, but one catam to do and let do I did the answer whatever. And the opposite of my sebejum having to say, and said, don't question. That's already my sebejum were black, your budget me and to me. And so crown so much and you and so mobile cool. Finance minister ne adomni bi amasebeja for no dom kese ni bi amasebeja mu sisi a and the soon other people ni amount to be baby it is so much so much on krana payments and after mark no discount but na omo wate unso mabo dina kuro bi hu aso mu so mu ko omo dina ti ana so
therefore em say video na that's live aye hwe
exactly
very good afa ye fa ne say sa hair count to ya wo mo pese mo eye no wo ma ye bi da Eyade wo ha wo mutaye ana weni da di kan
ye bi nye weni da di yile di wo mu ye nyama be be na ba ye head count e wo na de ba akọ ba ni say Owura Ahmed Ibrahim ka say obobo nipa don kuma obobo nipa be 19 say omu ni edem ho no tesi a speaker to calling for vote no e di sa no mba be kinkan wo mu say bate omba be ka ho a omu nka ho ana speaker to all there be emrane ma ho kwan say obi a wo ha bia na ebeti makana na so oba na yeto aba na ebeti makana ka ho ana speaker ka ta me na so so obi a sorry ne nkan na yebebo odin a no asori gina ho na wasori gina obo odin a no asori gina na o say dom kuma no dom kese na ba na den oro say mental bo say o this speaker nya adwe o ta gina ye na wo tie no eno ho atinje na yankoyemra o mutisa dia o masore free e matebe mo ana ndo kuma na so te mo ankata mo ba masore dia ne ye ma mo ba ba mo nko de ta ka ndo kuma na matebe mo
therefore me patcho me ba o biasi pen a wo be he no na wo mu eni edom no wo ho etu be so mbeka se ya sore wo bete no makwa frefre edom no ne ye do maba wo hwe edom kase no a na o mu nipa dodo ni nyina no na o mu wo ho ana
Oji ba we say if you have no juma no on it is a court technicalities room so at say e bet ma ba obi wo dem ma o hwe obi on office a wo ye bidi ehia pa nto hwe TV on office e ko do bre what say oba ne be kan obetum recover say ani aba be kan no but according to Owura Ahmed Ibrahim o tin board edom kuma edom kese ni pa be 4 o didi nso o mu ni dem ho no ana o say na se be man mizile no so ni pa ba akokwa mpo ni han ma ye o how ma so it will catch on say yeah opposition yeah minority I don't think they say head count amusro yeah they didn't see any numbers I don't think they say head count amusro oh but any nipa ba kwa me from any hu no Owura honorable Kenneth Japan and we need fear hanom
okay
ona hu Owura John Kuma nso e wa beti ma ba say dia no on office and it by say na o mu kuso o mu yesi na beti ma ba say obi ba ye den e ba be ka hu ona adina kwa but I'm here on my sorry period. You need the ya because I have a class, maybe a massa barber said, maybe not to say, only a head canton and not only a day. And today as a speaker task for parliament in back to whom I need to do it. But Sunday, I don't catch any, I have almost on Barbers and Choco Shim. Okay, you see from alcohol.
Or therefore, before say we see from no coding and I didn't come on. A Hunter West MP no Waba.
But how could you come or Hano?
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm the chances here.
Oh, okay. Yo.
Owura afenyo mark in the Jinan and Nas, or 6 months about Nas on intention for Cat. Seven for winning to need.
Fatu mi amon komo. Adofo yeda so ego so into therefore FF feed it.
Clear. Why should a speaker be such a history from what he has said? He said to us that he thought, and I'm quoting him, that I think the eyes have it. Anyway, that is how speakers make pronouncement and information. I think the eyes have it. And if it's convinced and persuaded, then you go further to say that the eyes have it. Or maybe I think the nose have it. The nose have it. That's how it's done. Once you say the nose have it, then the determination has been made. In this case, he said, I think the eyes have it. The eyes have it. Then we have a speaker making a U-turn, a sudden U-turn to say that no, it didn't say, it didn't act. that the eyes have it. He just expressed an opinion. You all there, you heard him loud and clear. And that's the most unfortunate.
Hello, Oliver.
Yeah, me.
Kakara, what can you say? No, as in so for share Muna, I don't consider any CC and your real estate men about to say, right honorable speaker, not some of kind of tell us about two to ask to form what other the report, or did you say, Speaker say, he think the eyes that the eyes have it. That's an opinion, but one can say the eyes have it. Now, it's time watching to officers had to speak a kayano. It's most unfortunate to speak about the Catantin or more challenges. The head council, head council, we can't tell. But over 60 minutes and so now, so Oma Kofibua, I challenge the vote, speaker decision. Also, 60 minutes and so it's now. So, one challenge we see our own.
Okay.
Or senior market and Obeka say. Any quantity speaker man who can or challenge speaker I vote because we feel because you see the right association and the speakers know they came more on because what say the member of say or challenging the decision of the speaker and he will go to that what I know say officer say a call for head count. And they say cut an eye in you Abantino in Central Punjab or the man or my different interpretation of what the speaker said. I don't know how going to so we have essential for and monetary and my began attack and they who did the free mother.
Therefore, you better say, you know, honorable Eric Poku so equidin como, it's your best about champion. You, or therefore, Betty and I yatin and canon, I had as a papa, ya corniano honorable Eric Poku so aquadin como. As I say, now a semi crown, oh, no, yes, Anna. I think the eyes have it. Okay. And we'll be see there be Nesadia as part of parliamentary standing orders, no? Order 1123, no? Let's say, Yanya Hunia. I was see a head count. It in Sadia young kind, Nipe Womuno. Na Yanshe. Young kind, na young kind. We see, Yaha. The speaker and when you're back it is your member speaker who crying. I'm an a kind of dear and the amasso. Senepai Masway. It is an asadia ya peer or peer ya or my conference and show for ACMU. Now at the end of what budget in Muntia Ama or more minority no empese on Bejia Tumuno. Honorable Eric Opoku ebe to me I explain it further. But to a layman point of view, no, and say, one more tax waiving, yeah, over $450 million. Yeah, omodema amanfoke, ya ne honorable Erikopoku kwakwadim komo. Yo, yanko honorable Kwatiaka ho. Honorable Kwatiaka wada roma ya mwakwa ba wo.
Yeah, ready.
Na umpo mboko de. Yo. Honorable Wadaroma, and common yetia. Yahu say, Cecia ya Cassay, Adam Cassia, woman, Sabajafie, Woma Pie, Ada Adianesi.
Yominia, a chair or chief winner, and wash of winner, Nadia see and say, and about Parliament, not just say, a dear concluded debate, no.
Okay.
And she, your majority leader, 1 hour, and your minority leader, 1 hour. I could imagine a minority leader, or he did justice to the debate, and say, or based on economy, into another economist, or based on that, or you just say we are there, your back never twaba, or budget and so. It's a policy statement meaning, idea at 12. She speak up to 2 questions, put you, yes. All in favor say yes. It's almost yes, and I answer all you against, and so can no, you can't know. And Chiviana speaker can say he thinks, and yes, have it. It is the entity for every no. Now, yes, yes, stand on this mono. The speaker must object say he thinks, the two challenges no, voice no, they were so close. And you know, they think they not be right. And yeah. Amakofibua or Sorena or challenge based on some other way book community or challenge say no, the per se the division is a very head count. Antenna, after your marking, and the site, and almost majority leader, almost sorry, Casa, an argument back and forth. Mikakachi doesn't know, say, Obi challenge, it is a discretion. Or no, you should discretion in mind. No, car say, yes. I don't know, after that, no, I could division. It's a minority to write some challenge ruling, no. And your ruling, well, ruling, or say he thinks that the yes have it. And the honor up and down, one of it. Or my uncle for being inside, because it was a delayed tatisa, no more yet. With the parliament, we have to employ server tatisa, I allowed. And today spoke for about 30 minutes. I knew who said uncle for be enter. It is a speaker a year in Australia, Sadia, a division we are going to go ahead. Now this time, no, yeah, sorry. You're bold, no, sorry, near account. You're bold, yeah, sorry, near account. And then Uncle Phone who said no, it will not be in their favor. But almost protesters said they can allow that. I said no, normally, first, no, I say, Obi, I'm sorry. Now, you cracking them, no, okay. And see, Obi kind of hard. You are feeling in the seat. You are going to another senior kind of, you wouldn't know.
Okay.
But this time, yeah, or see, you're bold, no, sorry, no, be a whom. Yeah, bold, no, sorry, whom, yeah, count to, and then the objective to Sadia Muti. And she almost a piano.
But honorable Kwatiaka, reason being the Mujina so can no. I didn't think I must see no. Budget and adding.
Yes, a budget, budget, why when you and some tax, a woman, and then after forcing the speech, hidden taxes will bring my M1 Xman for the Yamutre, ne how new Yindi, ne Brettman for. And she said, yeah, the argues starting from the debates, no. They only put you over Soribiano or debate against the budget. Education, the debate against the budget. Some figures on the other, and yet a year a health, the debate against the health policy. Need your Maya or debating the totality, no. Here you debated no against. And I call meeting on the since we have all debated no, we cannot now go there and accept the policy statement. That's a year kind in Aqua. And he decides I bet you know because budget M1 Timon Forum. And that's the reason why and at the force and so or concluding, as everything was against the budget. So Unya Tana Uchi the statement the reason why cumulatively everything Diana or Macano, Chazania right. Maomiani any Akufado, all the promise on the American now, in agri sector, inflation across TD against some dollar against some education against some in every sector of the economy, no, and now the size against some yes a budget we need to accept budget no.
It's much in a say, young for budget and for from Rana.
Of course, a Balastana and nearby details no woman over to me I correct it because taxes are on the Abenina VAT. They say VAT near the my increasing on. Now everyone have VAT in this one. Or maybe real at the Abeshim. Okay. Yes. And she at the person I realize all these things no a secret a year or the bar and what we pay taxes not a dozen. And she will and sometimes if they go back and they will change some of these mama for what then maybe you will accept. But for now, they are reject our budget, no, or majority, no, sorry, say, say, almost say, you're too abandoned on the issue. I think they have counted themselves there, your doors not a single one. Because I am almost 6 on the count to every year. We are sure they count to. Jane say, yeah, your numbers in the doors are small. They didn't know the other majority. John says, so much now, and I say, I'm back one fast at the end year count one. We are going to lose this year almost only a general.
So, and now Maswa, the Bembium. Say, and now Maswa, and then Maswa, the Bembium, the Betumia Basubim.
Well, it is the discretion of the speaker. And the cry young pony was suspended, and to be a Obesa so above bail due. Maybe if they are able to call their members on mobile, also now they will agree, say, speaker is now come up. Young Cosso. As a parliament, I have plays was Anna. I have in Chiwose. Speakers who are, I would say, you be a caviar, yeah, but no, or Dibrans, okay, sorry, omoko umwa osisi and here cry against almost sorry you know or no ever no put question say okay the debate is no but you know or suspend yes sorry maybe mesanya aba suspension just in your court the message about me asabishia
okay
nti I John is still igura nti oba you need decision of take maybe entity for now going to call their men now omo ewo horo na omo timiaba omo ba na say omo show numbers no they will accept the votes no my
okay yo honorable you better say bibia ne you better ba nchen no aba bedi nkomo bi
Miss Rojo asebe I mean sure
yo honorable kwatiaka ene yatene nka no na yedewe no ede besi na yakoso or therefore that's what mrase bedwafie eti de besi bia no yebekoso no modi nkomo ede afa ho ebra ene na mu na ene so special prosecutor ene sentrefo ahia ede nkomo na kisi ajaben ekrata no medo kakra mu ayi ede amamo na asama wode aba ene say court treating office of the special prosecutor with hasty dismissiveness, no regard. Kisi Ejabing was say the office of the special prosecutor has taken on the judiciary for some really made with regard to suspected corruption and corruption-related cases being investigated. According to Kisi Ejabing, the court is exhibiting some disregard for his office powers with what he sees as hasty dismissiveness of 8 cases. Speaking at a press conference held in Accra on Wednesday, Mr. Ejabin described the trend as troubling. He further rubbished argument made by the court that office of the special prosecutor breached the law in the handling of these cases. We do not force feed cases. We do not force feed our prosecutions. It is our beliefs that it is not a matter of us going beyond our mandate, but rather a case of hasty dismissiveness and lack of regard, because if you take the 4 cases tabled out over a period of time spanning from July 2022 on Monday to Monday, there is troubling trend. Okay, eti yabefa kisi Ejabeng ne nsem no so na ya domo suko, but before then no yeni kan entie ensem a owura kisi Ejabeng aka no yemfa first one na yehwe ensem a wode atodwa bi.
Collectively with the well-meaning lawyers who admonish me, we philosophize and wonder if our judges would do such a thing as gang up against the flagship public anti-corruption agency to scuttle its work for whatever reason. Our musings run along the lines of, would that not defeat the fight against corruption? Would that not put our young democracy in danger? Will the judges not stultify themselves in the process? We always end with an open-ended sigh, sometimes a sigh of relief, sometimes a sigh of concern that may that never be the case. And personally, I do not believe that our judges will ever adopt such a dystopian stance. However, members of the press, there appears to be a developing trend of rather regressive and dismissive judicial decisions in respect of cases involving the OSP, with troubling consequences. And it seems to us that a careful examination of these outcomes portends a disturbing specter that the fight against corruption is being hampered to the disbenefit of us all.
So, Kisi Ejabeng. Yan trust and yan for Kisi Ejabeng sem no one after the other. Near Missa say, as someone or come, a woman and a name. Owura Kisi Ejabeng emeki a case on Labianca issue, no? This one. Omeki a statement on it. and other ones. But Osela Bianca's case, we are facing doom in corruption fight. Special prosecutor react to court verdict. Mama Yang Hen Sabine say, or say we are facing doom in corruption fight. Special prosecutor. Na emunsam so ewa ha. Media no be call for discussion. Because in some room you will see a bam. In some room pa. And then you John Dramani Mahama na woda. Happy birthday to you, JM. Na ya ne awoda no wan trase. Wakosai Osudoku Hospital. Ode siye na wakwa kobo wura ho. Enuoma bi akoso. Moma ye hwe ade a yewura John Dramani Mahama wakwa koye nene. Motivation. Oh, eti owura John Dramani Mahama enuoma wakoko donate adiamo mo no. Enuoma assorted things. Chow. Ene na woda. Enyam yeshira jemu. Obi awoda wata ade no obi awoda enso yesra ade. Awoda no eyu na utumi hu senso so yedam. Emu seminar, a lot of things. And then Owura John Dramani Mahama wakwa kwache wabra ene eye ne birthday. I was shy Osudoku. Happy birthday to you, JM. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Very good. Owura John Mahama would done one gusono.
With the maintenance of this hospital and the high professional standards that the staff are showing. It is held up as one of the model hospitals in West Africa. And actually the WHO has asked other countries to come and emulate, the way this hospital has been kept. The idea for this hospital came to create a system of satellite hospitals that will ease the pressure on the main hospitals like Ridge and Kolebu and 37 and Police Hospital. And that's why the Ga East Hospital was started, and that's why Shai Osudoku was started. Several other hospitals, Fomena, Kumewu, Abetifi, Bekwai, Afari Ministry Hospital, and all that. Because even in Ashanti, there was too much pressure on Konfanoche, and so we needed to do satellite hospitals so that patients could get the same standard of care in places like this, rather than all going to Ridge and Kolebu. And so I want to congratulate the Director of Medical Services and also the District Director of Health Services, the District Director of Nursing Services. You can see a very motivated group of health workers who are giving their all to the community. I just told them, I said they are the victims of their own success because there's more pressure on the hospital now. They were supposed to serve the Shai Osudoku district, but I hear people are coming from Eastern region, and other places, Volta region, from as far as Kaswa. They pass Kolebu and come here, especially those who want to come and deliver, because this hospital has a reputation for low maternity deaths, low infant deaths, and you could see it ourselves when we went in there. There are several mothers, several children who are all well and thriving. And so on my birthday, I came to share a little of the joy of the day with both the staff and the patients. And I just want to take the opportunity to encourage them to continue doing what they are doing so well already, and may God continue to bless them, continue the maintenance. The hospital looks almost the same as when I commissioned it 7.5 years ago. And so may you continue doing what you're doing, and God richly bless you.
Very good. We any enoma akoso ene ora John Dramani Mahama yedana se papa ewo de waye any enoma akoso eja yama wa woda papa me pon a me fa fie se de tie no kan kan aduane ebisu ene nti me pon a me fa ho akoso ewo Kenya ene Kenyafo e de Ghana ene ye case study menuanom oman na se Ghana say you and the Kenya for on their national television. Wamu bobo kwanya wamu be faswa. Wamu si kasem totoye. Enye basa. And omu de Ghana. Muhe video in a Idaho. Muhe.
You start seeing a government struggling with paying salaries, Eric, as you mentioned. We are teetering on what is called debt default. And I think Kenyans need to understand what that means to our lives. Ghana recently, December, went through a modicum of debt default. They could not meet their debt obligations. So what did Ghana do? They went to the IMF. And the IMF told them, before we look at you dealing with your debts, the sovereign in your country must understand and feel the pain first. Yes, it is. So Ghana calls in their bonds and says, now if you have a bond of 10,000 shillings, you now take it at a discounted rate of 30%. So it shaves off
people who had lent it domestically.
Yes,
basically
it shaves off 3,000 shillings. And says 7,000 is yours. Now these 3,000, come back for it in 3 years. The next 3 years is 0% interest, but in 3 years you come, we give you 3%. They went to bank accounts because the threat of banks collapsing is huge. So they come to your bank account. They raid your current account. They do the same thing. Here they raid your M-Pesa and do the same thing.
What is raiding and doing the same thing? What does that mean?
It means that if you have a deposit in your M-Pesa of 10,000 shillings, they will take 30%, and you then have 7,000.
So your balance,
if you have a current account,
your balance suddenly becomes
7,000. Who is the sovereign?
It's you, the citizen.
How do you starve off a bank collapse?
You detain the cash.
You detain the cash, and that is coming to this country. That is our best case scenario.
That is our best
case scenario.
Right, I'm waiting for
But what has it happened? What has happened to Ghana in 4 months? You've had an inflation rate that went from 12% to 45%.
Yeah.
So even whatever money you have left has become half its value on the market.
Right.
Mama yan shadi we Kenya Spice FM and Omo conducted this interview. Let's ask this simple question, say. The head of the economic management team, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, Shacheya Amanya Hudwa, Echa Yehuasia, Eche Ghana. All these happened because of Bawumia. Bawumia no one created this problem at the Mayeno, and this same person, Anam Eshabo, Akojina Otumfuanim, Sawa the idea be beba, your friend credit scoring. Muntia Bawumia, Muntieno.
And I'm also happy to note, Your Majesty, that Ghana early next year will be introducing a credit scoring system for individuals. That credit scoring system, every individual will have a credit score. Right now, our credit scoring system does not exist. So everybody is seen as risky, and the interest rates are high. But we are going to move into individualized credit scoring. So if you don't pay your loan, you have low credit scores, isn't it? And if you go for a loan, you have a problem. But if you are diligent in repaying your loans, then your credit score will be high, and you are likely to get lower interest rates. You will have more discipline as a result. The Ghana card will also become this anchor for a credit system in Ghana. I visited a couple of car manufacturers in Accra, notably Solar Taxi, and they manufacture cars, and they give the cars on credit to people. And the only information they need from those people is their Ghana card. You give them the Ghana card, they will give you a car, you work and pay over.
Mumra me conscious na me mfantwi ma no mama no nye kokko. Comedian vice president. Or say, wa visit the car ya omo ye solar taxi. Look, minianom. Wo shed the way ye Kenya for esi etwe Ghana. Na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia agina ha ye we. Kenya. Em se jam ebia ye di nkomo no moni amaso. Tie Kenya fo ni biem. Tie asama wo mo kafa ye debt restructuring. Ene ye sika asama aye basa no. Tie asama Kenya eka e dia fa Ghana ho. Me pacho yi wasum tie ni biem tie.
You start seeing a government struggling with paying salaries, Eric, as you mentioned. We are teetering on what is called debt default. And I think Kenyans need to understand what that means to our lives. Ghana recently, December, went through a modicum of debt default. They could not meet their debt obligations. So what did Ghana do? They went to the IMF. And the IMF told them, before we look at you dealing with your debts, the sovereign in your country must understand and feel the pain first. Yes, it is.
What year asama papa kan ya? Was se Kenya for antutu no ma ya. Na Kenya this year anti no ma sia. There will be force. Some conquer debt default. And we betwe Ghana say musa nan say Ghana ebe yebi. Na Ghana yesi kasama ye basa. Ye ko IMF koduru hono. IMF say before so be Ghana nim no. Just a suffering no pain no. Timemufuo no ebe fam. Eti saban e de waka aban hwehwe account um. Aban de waka 1,000 shillings or say obema 70 shillings. 30 no aka no ko. Brother next 3 years na beje. Next 3 years no interest payment is zero. Interest payment is zero. Ituba sikano krano ntumi fama no amount 3%. And then Ghana ya twetwe yen e wo dwaman so because of Bawumia. And you know where John Dramani Mahama say or bebanwa be yi this mess at the free ho. True prudent measures 24-hour economy. And no me try to two be my name Upper East Regional Minister. And no mu friend were radio so no ko ya no one Stephen Yakubu muntia sama waka Stephen Yanko.
And the vice president is saying that he understands the region. He says these 24-hour economies. Hey, my brothers, when we work in our farms and we are tired in the night, we have to sleep with our wives home. We have to be with our wives home. In the night, one does also to go and be farming, and then people will come and take our wives away. We have to be careful about this 24-hour thing.
Wakwakwa ka Newton na no ye na yabo no no e de amamo. Very shameful.